White Crow.
Modern King Boxing. What's good? Another subject to talk about. Let's get it.
This fight not happening, and you guys have always had a friendly rival, it seems. You know, a lot of mutual respect, although you take jabs at each other. But there's a guy that Spence is really close to that it seems a little bit more personal in Jermell Charlo. He came out on IG, as you know, recently. He said, "You're scared of Spence. You need the money." Him and his brother and Spence kind of made your name. What do you say to all that?
Something is wrong with that dude. He got to stay off of whatever he on, you know, because if I can recall, I was already a 2-time world champion before he was even a champion, both of them. You know, so how somebody piggyback off of my name when I was already, you know, the man? I don't understand that. I was already on the pound for pound list. I was already, you know, in talks to, you know, being the next best thing since Mayweather retired. So I don't understand. I ain't never heard of his name being in the talks of any of that sort of anything. So how can I, you know, be piggybacking off of him and his brother's name when I've accomplished way more than them in the sport of boxing? That don't even make sense.
Now, you have stated, I've heard that you feel like, and I know you would want him, that Spence, you know, fight occurred right after you told me that over the summer. How badly would you like to get in the ring with him and, you know, shut him up, so to speak, and take his belts?
I already said it. I would love to get in the ring and shut him up, you know, because only thing he's going to do is cry afterwards, you know. That's all he do is run around yelling, angry, and mad at himself. But at the end of the day, you know, my main focus is on David right now. So I really don't care what, you know, anybody else had to say to me right about now.
Now, you know, obviously the Spence, you know, may get looked at again after this fight. I know you've stated that publicly or on some different shows. But there's a guy here in Fort Worth, as you know, you've been to his fights, itching to get in the ring with you. I know you're not scared. You're not scared of King Kong. You're not scared of anybody in Virgil Ortiz Jr. How possible is that fight if the Spence fight perhaps gets delayed again?
Oh, it's very possible. He's the number one contender. He's my mandatory. So, of course, that's a very likable and possible fight to be made as well.
Is there a reason why David was chosen before Virgil, to your point that he was number one in your weight class?
I have no idea. The names just came across the table, and I just said yes to it.
Now, listen, man, I know you got your boxing academy up in Omaha, and one of these days I want to get out there and visit it. And you're such a mentor for a lot of these young guys and even older guys like Steven Nelson. I've had some talks with him, and I know you guys go way back, etc. But Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn are two guys that you've really taken under your wing. What is it about those guys that just kind of bring it out of you, just, you know, in the ring and out of the ring?
Well, you're talking about two talented young fighters that got the heart and the desire and the will to become great, you know. And Keyshawn and Shakur, they grew up together, you know. Keyshawn, you know, growing up under Shakur when he was living in Virginia, and they sparring and competing against each other. And then as they got older, you know, I'm sparring them and I'm teaching them little things, and they keeping me sharp because, you know, once you get to a certain point in a professional standpoint, you know, everything kind of slows down because you got 12 rounds. But then here you go, you know, you got two young kids coming out of the Olympics, and, you know, everything is fast with them. Everything is fast paced. So, you know, they keep you sharp. They keep you, you know what I mean, honest. And as they grow and get stronger and, you know, fill in with the professional style, you know, they start testing you mentally, not physically. They start testing you mentally, because not only, you know, is they bringing the speed and the reflexes and the athleticism, you know, they bring in the smarts now as well. So, you know, it's great for all around, both of us, all three of us, I would say.
And you're an old head now, and you know, so I would imagine they really look up to you and take that advice.
Oh, of course. You know, I'm a student as well, you know, so, you know, you got to take it in, give it. You know, sometimes they give me advice. You know, sometimes they'll see something that I'm not doing, and they'll shout out, you know, hey, what you doing? Let's tighten up. You know, so iron sharpens iron.
You said that Shakur is the next pound for pound great in boxing, and he actually does some things better than you at this stage. Can you elaborate on what those things might be?
Oh, of course. I feel like Shakur, you know, his reflexes, his boxing ability is on a whole another level. You know, I feel like, you know, his mental, him outthinking the opponent is on another level. So I just think that's going to take him to the next level, and ain't nobody going to beat him for, you know, years to come, if not ever.
So between 135, 140 right now, in your view, he's the guy to beat.
Oh, of course. Of course.